Yeah, you're good. Talk away.
All right, and we are back here. Sorry about that. A little bit of technical difficulties in the moment, but hey, that is the nature of fun online racing. Sometimes it's the racers, and sometimes it's the broadcaster that has the moment. But we're back going. We're all good. We're live. We are bringing you some action here with 18 to go here in the NASCAR Thunder Special. Let's jump back into it and see exactly what we have missed. And it looks like not too much right now. Ben Harkham still in the lead. Matt Parasini still back in P2. So nothing crazy I feel like we've missed, James.
No, I've had a penalty because I was trying to resolve an issue with yourself and then ended up speeding in the pit lane. Then I've tried to get some optionals done, so I'm basically about 11 laps down at the moment. But hey, it's all good fun. But yeah, no, I don't think you've missed too much there. I think Herzog's tidying up in a battle at the moment, so I think Mark Herzog is having a bit of a ding dong. So you can see how he gets on as well. But yeah, no, it's all good. 16 to go here at the moment.
At 16 to go, and it looks like everybody nice and relaxed here. Ben Harkham with a fairly good lead. Matt Parasini not too far off there either. So those guys up in the front, trying to give a little bit of action and breathe a little bit of life into this twin ring Motegi race here as we hit the end. It is Matt Parasini who is just about half a second back, or 5 seconds back. He's got behind him Brad Kress half a second back. So they're trying to breathe in some life for this P2 battle as we watch it take off for the rest of this race. We're not, again, nothing too crazy going on, but they've got some action as well. They've got that number 3 of Hyatt in front of them, who's several laps down. We've got, of course, Mr. James, who is down, and sometimes that happens, but hey, he's not doing too bad at all as far as we
Hey,
can
I've had
see.
fun, mate. I don't know. At the end of the day, I knew I was never going to come in and be super duper pooper scooper quick, like, but I've had fun. I'm going to go and give Ben Harkham a little bit of grief now as well because I'm catching up to Ben. I've got new tyres and he hasn't. So I obviously won't wipe him out or anything silly, but, you know, get him a little bit of a play.
Yeah, just a little bit of fun won't hurt anyone. We're 14 laps to go, so might as well enjoy the NASCAR Thunder Special here in the Gen 4 as it goes. And of course, big thank you to Sid Keshishian, who sponsored today's race and brought today's race and made it possible. Sid Keshishian is not racing today, but a huge thank you nonetheless goes out to him for sponsoring this event. And now, as we watch here, 14 to go, Ben Harkham, are you gonna have any issues? Ben Harkham has been bulletproof from start to finish here. Matt Parasini up in P2 again, just nice and relaxed. And then Kress is in third place and isn't too far back. But for Brad Kress, he probably wants to be a little bit closer if he wants to try to make something happen here. With 13 to go now as they cross the line, and they keep it going, they keep it going, and they keep it going.
We definitely do. We're plod on here. Not far from the leader. I know this looks like I'm going to overtake the leader as much as I would think I could. I really am not. This is me just having a little bit of fun with Ben at the moment. So yeah, it's getting quite exciting.
Yeah, I
You got
mean,
to try and it's that wider line. He takes his line is very not. Oh, come back. His line is not very where I would go, but I've just done the quickest lap in the session for me anyway, not over everybody. So obviously, clearly his line works a little bit better than mine obviously did. So I'm just doing a little bit of follow me leader at the moment.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I think you're not in a bad position. Just stick with the leader and keep following him around and see what you can learn as we go. I'll tell you what I'm learning right now, and that is that John the Naj Crutchley is getting around Mr. Brad Kress. Of course, the Naj is, of course, a lap down, so he's just trying to work his way back through the field and get things around and just stay nice and relaxed and comfortable running around. I mean, he's not in a bad spot at all, but he needs to try to gain that lap back. We're 11 laps to go. I don't think Ben Harkham's going to pit again. I don't think Matt Parasini's going to pit again. I don't really think anyone's going to pit again. So I think we're going to finish this race pretty well how it sits because the gaps are really, really wide between the drivers at the moment. Nobody is really within spitting distance of anyone except for Al Corey is starting to catch up to, it looks like, the Naj Crutchley a little bit here and is trying to make a little bit of pressure. But again, he's a lap down. He's trying to just lap back to get his lead lap as he goes up the inside here of Mr. Brad Kress. Brad Kress not giving him any issues there. And the Naj is just in front. So he might be able to give us a little bit of fun in a battle for P7 here towards the end.
Yeah, we may be able to. And right up even with older tyres, Ben Harkham is still rapid.
Yeah.
Normally, you can get right near people and really go round them, and for him, I just can't. He drifts out coming out of two, and I'm almost thinking about coming up the inside of him, getting that slingshot off the inside, but I just can't carry the speed going out, and I'm a little bit worried that I don't obviously want to hit him either. Oh, no. Come on, ride that outside line like a horse. Here we go. Full 90-degree lock.
And you've got Mr. Hyatt joining you for company there behind you. Of course, 6 laps the difference between you all. But that Coca-Cola number 3 is going to be looking around here on James, send it up the inside, and giving him no grief here. Side by side, they come out of 3, and ahead out of 4 will be Mr. Hyatt, who is trying to get a lap back here on Ben Harkham. And you can see it's a bit of a run. And James, that is a wall, my friend.
I know, you get... This is, remember I said to you, you end up being stuck to it like Velcro. And that is it. I was literally stuck to that wall.
Was nothing you could do to get away from it. It said, hello, my friend. You stay with me for a little bit.
And yeah, it almost pulled me in. So, yeah. But Hyatt's now going to go and give Harkham a bit of grief here as he's going up the inside getting a lap back.
Yeah, he's going up the inside. What view do you have of this? You've got probably the best view in the house to watch this.
Yeah, I got both of them battling away. You can see it in front of me at the moment. For both of them going at each other. Hyatt is still carrying. You can carry more speed. You can tell them you're almost on newer tyres round here because you can carry more speed out. You've got obviously Harkham in front, and you can see he's struggling. Oh! No!
Oh, and wow. James catches it. Big save there, riding on board. Tell you what, that was a good save coming from you there, coming out of 2. I don't know how you kept that together.
I don't know, but you should see the cover of my chair about now. Yeah, that was quite dramatic. But no, that's the thing. You should have been out, like, you can tell now, even though you've got 6 to go, that even with that slide there, you can tell that your tyres are starting to dip off just a little bit, because before you could use to hold that and accelerate out, and now you just can't. So it's a very tough act to try and hold on to here, making sure that you're just trying to keep your car going in the right direction.
Yeah, and I mean, you do what you can, and you're giving it a good try. I'm very, very, very much enjoying this. I'm impressed all the way through top to bottom at how you have done. You've almost survived your 110 laps. It's 5 laps to go, Mr. Parfitt. Keep it together here. Let's do a quick rundown of the grid as it sits, though. Ben Harkham currently up in the lead, up 7 places. Matt Parasini, who started on pole, is down a few places, or is down 1 place in the P2. And then, of course, Brad Kratz up 7 places in the P3. Cameron Kane is up a few places. Dustin Barton's up 9. Al Corey's up 11. And then, of course, Mr. John Crutchley's up 6. Mike Weed is up 1. And Mark Herzog is up 2. The big losers of this race really is Iris Ashby. She has dropped down 9 places. John Campbell has dropped down 9 places. And then, of course, Mr. Parfitt is telling me that you have lost 10 places for some reason.
Really?
I don't know if that's correct or not, but
no,
that is what
it's definitely not. I've lost the 10 laps probably, but I haven't lost 10 places considering I started down here. But there we go. Never mind. The wonderful timing world we live in.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's probably a slight timing error to do with my disconnect and restart, but...
Yeah, that could be the one.
We'll make it work here, and we'll see how things end up. We'll check and see how the official results show. You can see here, Miss Iris Ashby, she is trying to put some pressure here on Ben Harkham as we run down into 1 and 2, and Ben Harkham not making it hard there, giving that lap back to Iris Ashby. So Iris Ashby now only 1 lap down here with 3 to go. Ben Harkham does not want any sort of issues going into the end of this race, and there is really nothing crazy going on at the moment other than it looks like Jason Benson is being chased down by Iris Ashby by about 3/4 of a lap here, or 3/4 of a second, not 3/4 of a lap.
Do you want me to cause a yellow flag or anything?
I don't want you to get kicked off the league, so let's not do that. However, I will say a green-white checkered between Parasini and Harkham would be quite entertaining right now.
Yeah, we got 2 to go.
2 to go here, and it looks like Ashby is going to send it up the inside of Benson here around the corner, holds on to it, does a very, very clean pass, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you get your position up into P10 for Ashby. So Ashby, rapid here at the end, of course, did just pit on lap 92, and we are on lap 108. So very, very comfortable in that number 94 and sending it around just to gain those last little bit of positions as they can. But white flag now being displayed for the leader, Ben Harkham here. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the final lap. It's the victory lap for Ben Harkham. Gonna bring it around, and we'll just see how things go for Ben Harkham and Parasini and Kress. Again, the gap's really opening up here, and Jason Benson, the closest battle at the moment to Iris Ashby, but not close enough to present any sort of a challenge. They're going to just continue to run things through and stay nice and relaxed. It's around turn 3 for our champion here of Ben Harkham is running through. I say champion, not champion, but for the race winner here. Ben Harkham brings it across the line and will have the win. Matt Parasini here in second place is a bit of a ways back, but brings it across here for P2. Brad Kress will come across and find third place, and then we'll bring it around. Fourth place, Cameron Kane, who is just now coming out of turn 4, and we'll bring it through. So we'll wait on everybody to cross the line here and finish this race up. And then from there, it's going to be Dustin Barton, Al Corey, who is just now coming down the back of 2 and around. So looks like racers are pretty much done. And hey, James, you survived 110 laps, minus a few, here at Twin Ring Motegi.
Minus a few. What was it? 11. So technically, I only did 99.
Do an extra lap then. Let's make it 100. Let's make it 100. Come on.
All right, I'm off.
And there we go. Mr. Parfitt makes 100 laps here at Twin Ring Motegi out of 110. So officially, we can say that he has done that. But let's take a look at the results here as they stand. I believe the results are almost ready, and they are. So let's go ahead and check them out. Let's talk through the grid, and then we'll get off to some interviews. And so, where do things land after 17 laps of action? Well, I can tell you right now that it lands with our leader, Ben Harkham, going for the win, winning by 7 seconds over Matt Parasini. Brad Kress into P3, Cameron Kane into 4th place, Dustin Barton P5, Al Corey up into 6th, John the Naj Crutchley up in 7th place, Mike Weeda P8, Mark Herzog in 9th, Iris Ashby, she lands in P10, Jason Benson in 11th, John Campbell 12th, Ryan Hyatt P13, and Mr. James Parfitt, you should know the name, finishes in 14th. Ward Fisher in P15, Brian Cooper and Grant Parker DNFing out. So, 14 cars out of 17 finish. Not a bad gig at all, James. And again, you survived it. You didn't do half bad.
No, I did. I survived. I was a few laps down, but I survived. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. I even survived Cameron Kane's attempt to take me out right at the beginning. So, yeah, I survived. You know what I mean? It was good. I enjoyed it, to be fair. That's tough going around there. It wasn't quite as fun as I almost thought it would be, because I think you always want to run Twin Ring as an oval, and I thought it would be really quite a different experience, and it definitely was a different experience there.
Yeah, I think that was a very, very fun experience. I tell you what, let's get our race winner up here. Let's see if we can't hear from Ben Harkham about how different it was up front for him. So let's bring in our race winner here, Mr. Ben Harkham, and it won't let me drag him. So actually,
hold on.
You'll have to do it, James.
There you go.
There we go. Let's bring in our race winner, Mr. Ben Harkham. So Ben, good evening to you, my friend. How is the Twin Ring Motegi here in Japan treating you today?
It is awesome. That was an amazing race.
You were in a league of your own for most of the time, except for after the first pit stops. So kind of talk to me about how those first pit stops went and what your plan was and how everything kind of landed out for you, because it was a very, very nice and relaxed time, it seemed, up front. Didn't seem like you were having really any issues.
Nope, no issues at all. I just had to get pit strategy nailed down, and I had to stay out in front of Matt. He had a good car. It was a great race.
Were tires an issue? Was pit strategy an issue? What was it that made you stand out above everyone else, that brought you to the win at the end by a dominating 7 seconds?
I think there was a bump in 3. It was a bump in 1 and 2, and I think there was a certain way I was hitting that, and I would like rotate the car just right where I needed it to be, and I think that's what got me.
A magic bump.
Yep.
I don't think James agrees with that one, but I'm not going to argue.
A magic bump. I think you could have told me there was a magic bump. Jeez.
I somehow managed to save my tires. Somehow.
Yeah. Tires was a big thing today, wasn't it? It was very tough on tires.
Yeah, especially the right front. That last pit stop I did, my right front was 52, and my right rear was like 80 something.
Yeah, it was quite poor. Yeah.
Ben,
there you go. Sorry, Brad.
No, you're good, James. Ben, anyone you want to shout out? Anyone you want to thank? I'll give the floor to you real quick before I let you go.
Big shout out to y'all for putting on broadcasting this race. Shout out to everybody at TBP. They put on wonderful races. I'll put in a plug in for Kyle here since I'm in his car tonight.
I told you.
Yeah. I was looking for a moment and I was like, he's got the Napa know-how. And then James corrected me and reminded me that that indeed is not your livery, but it looks good at the front of the field nonetheless.
I might have to ask Kyle, can I keep this car for good luck?
Maybe I should take it off you and see if I could do any better than my L plates.
Awesome. Well, Ben, appreciate your time. Congrats on the win here at Twin Ring Motegi, and we will see you at the next race.
Alrighty, y'all have a good one.
Yeah, man.
You too. All right, James, magic bump. There's your answer.
Yeah, clearly. I should have Harry Pottered onto the magic bump, obviously. Who do you want next? Matt Perezzini?
Yeah, bring us Matt Perezzini here, and let's talk to our P2 winner here.
Remember, don't introduce him by his nickname.
Okay? Come on
There you go.
now.
Matt's here for you, Brad.
Matt Perezzini, welcome in. How was this race for you at this uniquely shaped track? Kind of talk me through how you thought it was going to go, and then you ended up in P2.
Well, I think at the end of the day, I was hoping for a better result than that, but the admin cheats or something going because he was so fast. However, I think I did figure it out at the end what he was doing because I was starting to mirror his lap times on old tires. So, overall, good day for the Slaughter Racing Designs Chevy. Happy with a P2. That's 2 P2s in a row, so I can't complain whatsoever.
Well, I'll tell you, Matt, what Ben told us a second ago was it was a bump, which James, who finished in P14, disagrees with and wishes he had learned earlier. However, I don't know how that sounds for you, but kind of tell me, it seemed like really tire strategy, and it seemed like everybody had their own pace, their own race. Were you expecting the racing to be a lot closer, or did you kind of know going into this race things were going to spread out a bit?
Oh, I knew it was going to spread out. This track is not, I would say, even in my top 10 of a track that puts on a decent oval race. I'll be brutally honest. It's not, I mean, it's super wide, and I wish that more grooves would come in, but this track just does not have multiple grooves. It's single groove right on the bottom. And if a guy hits the line and is, your shift point 3-4 just right, I mean, you can walk away with it pretty easy, and it gets spread out. And the first 2 runs, I really burned up my right front tire, and then in the last run, I started shifting in 3 and 4, and that really helped the car, and I was able to maintain a faster lap time over a longer period.
You were changing gear.
And 4. So was Ben.
Well, now I know another problem where I was going wrong then.
Well, and the worst part is there, James, in this particular car, if you don't change gear correctly and at the right RPM, it's going to spin you out. That's the hard part about this animal of a car.
Yeah. And almost, dude. I said to Brad before we started, I said, one thing I don't want to do is cause a caution. And I did have a moment towards the end of the race where I nearly did. Obviously, I caused the first one because Cameron Kane hit me up the bottom on the pace lap. So I can't really be blamed for that one.
No, we're going to call that a green. Basically, we went green to checker. That's what we'll call that one. And
thanks, mate. Made me feel a bit better.
This track tends to do that again because it's really, that single groove makes it really, really hard to pass. It's very similar to Indy in that aspect. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I do not like this track. Is it's very hard to pass. You have to hit your lines perfectly, and really doesn't put on for a real good race.
Well, I had fun anyway, bud.
Oh, it's fun to drive. It just doesn't put on an entertaining race for the fans, and that's what we're looking for, is an entertaining race for the fans. Now, next week, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to Talladega, and chances are, we'll probably tear up a few cars next week.
I might. You know, James, if there was ever a chance you wanted to get me to drive, next week is going to be the week. Well,
Dega broadcast.
Yeah, we'll put in some phone calls and see how we feel about that before then. But Matt, last thing I'm going to ask you before I let you go, anyone you want to thank, anyone you want to shout out, I'll give the floor to you for just a brief moment.
Yeah, just thanks again to Jeff Slaughter from Slaughter Racing Designs. He designed this new DuPont Rainbow car that I like to say you can see from space. So it's an awesome looking race car. Really love racing it. And then, as usual, I'll thank my wife Leanne, my daughter Johanna, for allowing Dad to come out and play with the boys on Sunday night for a couple hours.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate having you. We'll see you next week in Dega, my friend.
Sounds good. Thanks for doing the broadcast, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, did we have our third place Brad Kress around?
No.
All right. Well, James, tell you what, I'll give you a brief interview here then. Kind of talk me through how that felt for you from beginning to end, other than your little pace lap moment. We'll exclude
that wasn't my fault, right? Do you know what, right? It was really weird because I wasn't quite sure how this was going to come in, how it was going to play out with this today, because this is the first time I've really gone full hard on a Gen 4. And do you know what? I actually really enjoyed it, even though I was poodling around at the back there. But it was good fun. I enjoyed it. Very tough on tires. That track wasn't easy. So tough on tires. But overall, I think I had a great time. And that was it. That's all that matters, really. And, if anybody does want to get involved, as you know, all links are down in the description below.
Absolutely. And then, of course, James, are we doing this again? Does this have your approval to move forward as something fun that we bring here and there in the JP Broadcasting Network?
Yeah, I think we do. I enjoyed this. It was a different experience trying to commentate and drive, but overall, I think it gave a different insight to what was going on as well, and it was really good, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And I will tell you from my side, it's nice to get to hear someone live on track and ask them, hey, how's the car feeling? Where are the tires at? What's your strategy? Because it's better than just, sitting up in the booth and guessing and saying, well, maybe we're doing this, maybe we're doing that. When you can say, hey, this is how long I've got to run. It gave a unique sort of view.
Yeah, I think that was the thing as well. You'd love to do more of this. And that's the thing. You'd love to be able to do more or pull more drivers in. Cameron has just apologized. He said, sorry for looping you. I just wanted a warm welcome. So, yeah.
Well, I think you got your warm welcome. And of course, everyone knows that JP Broadcasting and Triple Bypass, love each other a lot. It's not something that's unheard of, but I have a feeling we're going to see this happen a bit more. But James, unless you've got any final thoughts, I think this is where we can call it for a night.
Yeah, I'm all good, dude. Wrap it up. Let's go.
Awesome. So on behalf of James, my name is Bradley Dalton, and I want to thank you for joining us here on the JP Broadcasting Network. Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bells, do all the fun things so you can catch all the action coming up across this week. Of course, next week here is round 7 from Talladega here in the Gen 4s, and Triple Bypass has plenty more action on the JP Broadcasting Network. And there's plenty of other fun things that you can find. But on behalf of James, my name is Bradley, and we will see you on the next one.